Hi everyone and welcome back. I'm glad to have you here. Today I have something different, something I'm excited for, and I looked and tried to see if there was anything else like this because I wanted to create my own tag. And if there is something similar to this that's around, please comment below so I can credit the appropriate people. Thank you. And what I want to do is I'm calling it the 5 Charities Tag. This is a time of year when everyone is in the giving mood. And sometimes we're looking for places that need our help, or other people might have different charities they're passionate about and would like to share with people, and I welcome them to do so with this tag. So, to begin, I am going to start off with my 5 charities. Number 1 is the MG Foundation. I'm probably going to butcher this, but MG stands for Myasthenia Gravis. And I'll probably get commenting down below how I butchered it, but it doesn't matter. My friend Brie from Dose of Reality does have MG, and I like to donate to her walk. When I first started becoming friends with Brie, I'm a very inquisitive person and wanted to learn about what she had because she's passionate about her disease and I'm passionate about mine. So that kind of brings us together in that aspect. And MG affects your autoimmune system, and it attacks your tissues. So, yeah. When I was learning about Brie, I also found out my step-uncle has it. And as a child or a teenager, he got put on a ventilator for a period of time for it. And I know that's very common for people with MG. They have a lot of breathing problems, and depending on what type you have. And I will leave below the MG Foundation page, and I'm not sure if I think Brie does the MG walk every year, and she's done it for the past 2 years, and you can make donations straight to her page. I think if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll correct myself down below. But yeah, that is one charity I wanted to tell you about. The next one is the Lee Thompson Young Foundation. Lee Thompson Young was a young African American actor. He was on a show I never watched as a child called The Famous Jet Jackson on Disney, and he went on to be on one of my favorite TV shows, Rizzoli Isles. And during the time of the filming, in his own home, he took his own life, and it was tragic, and his family wanted to make something out of that tragedy so other families didn't have to suffer the pain they're suffering. He was bipolar, so they want to make the stigma for mental illness go away, and that is something I am passionate about. And they are all in for educating and giving resources to schools and other places that teach people what it's like to have mental illness, the signs of mental illness, groups where you don't feel alone, that kind of thing. So that is another charity to think of. My number 3 charity is Habitat for Humanity. In college, instead of going on fall or spring break twice, I ended up going on an alternative spring break, which was going to help build houses in York, Pennsylvania, and in Berks County, Pennsylvania. And it wasn't just building. Like, it's not limited to building a house, even though we did a lot of that. There is always something for you to do. They always need goods. They always need help and money and just time for other things, because they have events going on. So look into helping your local Habitat for Humanity. 4 is December. Now, my friend Alysa has been doing it for maybe 3 years at least, and December helps women and children affected by domestic violence. No woman or child should have to go through that, especially children, and get displaced. And it's a horrible, horrible thing, especially when 50% of the time people go back to their abusers, and you need, like, when you're finally brave enough to leave, you need help. And December is, for the month of December, you raise awareness by wearing a dress every day of the month of December, and you raise money as you would with any endeavor. There's a donation page. I will link to that when that's available. I'll link you to the whole December thing. She is Canadian, so it does take Canadian dollars, or it equivalates them. I'm not sure if December's has anything in the US going, but I can check. But I know she's Canadian and a lot of her friends do it, so it's an international thing, because domestic violence doesn't stop, like, have boundaries, and it sucks. It sucks that, like, if you could have boundaries for all these horrible things, would you? Like, it, I don't know, blowing my mind right now. And number 5, I recommend Feeding America. We need it. People are always giving around Thanksgiving, thinking families deserve a Thanksgiving meal. And yes, they do. But what about the times when we're not celebrating the holidays, where children are going to school hungry, or there's no program set up at their school? They depend on Feeding America to feed these families and feed these children over the weekends, because some kids do go home on the weekend and they have nothing to eat. They have nothing, and it's not because of a parent's not willing to do so. It's because they have these enormous decisions to make on where to allot their money to have a roof over their heads or not. And it just blows my mind sometimes. But yeah, Feeding America, especially this time of year, because they're going to have an influx of donations because of the holidays. But also remember them after the holidays as well. Now, since this is a good old tag, I'm going to tag Bree, of course, Christina, Valerie, if she's watching, and Kristen, and if John Cookian ever saw this, I would love for him to do it, just because you get an international view of what charities are important. So if you have international friends, or you're international and you're watching this, take the challenge. Find 5 charities that people might not know of, or that you're passionate about, and just go with it. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you'd enjoyed.